Well, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another stream to be Overthunk by Sharky. We are back for another Christmas surprise. we are being unscheduled all over the place this week. We've gone from, what is it, not streaming in 6 months to streaming 3 times within the 1 week. That's got to be some kind of a record. Let's get into this. Yeah, while the opportunity is there, I'm taking the chance to squeeze in another quick bout of Jaffa Factory 2. See if we can't redeem ourselves for some of the mismanagement that we went through in the last one. Oh dear, it seems like we were having a bit of an underthink an underthinking time. It's off brand there in the last stream, because once the world loads and we actually join into it, we will probably be reminded immediately of our failures right towards the end of the last stream. We spent so long flying around looking for all sorts of things, only to end up dead to deadly iguanas and all sorts of things, clay floating on the floor because we've thrown it away. As Katuth reminded us last time, we've actually got inventory in the gyrodyne, whatever, in the flying machine. So we should dump some stuff in there, like another one. And then just a bunch of random things. In fact, I don't need that buried treasure map anymore, because we have found that treasure. So let's just fully throw that treasure map. Bam. Into the cactus. Dead. Pick up some clay instead. There we go. We need to head home. The only thing I'm conscious of on the way home, we're gonna leave these villages and everyone as they are. The only thing I'm conscious of is we did an amazing job collecting all the things we said we were going to collect. We actually got them. Good work everyone. Yay us. But once upon a time when we were back down, look at the world loading in. Once upon a time when we were back down this neck of the woods, we did mention that we were going to grab some cherry blossom trees and things like that, so that we could plant those in the hopper botany pots, and we just never did. So I'm going to go via these other ones up here, just so that I can pick up a few. Pick up a sapling, just so we can come back with that one. So that's fine. We'll just sort of skirt the direction we're going and head back that way. There's some more big elephantes down there. And whatever that is. Rhinos. Exciting stuff. Well, we won't land down there just in case that's also a bad call. Another village on the top there. In the acacia biome of all places too. Village fully made out of acacia wood. Yeah, like right here. Oh dear. What's that? That's a tiny meteor actually surrounded by lava. There's a structure there. There it is, loading in right now. Yeah, well, oh, there's an orange tree there as well. Melons. All sorts of exciting stuff. Like, pretty fancy world, Jen. Modded Minecraft for you. Surface lava there, burning some things up. Yeah, that's an interesting looking place. Could do an explore of that at some point. another thought that came to mind as well, while we're just chatting and flying back home and looking at the different structures that are loading in as we're going, is that, oh, I'll just fly over top of that cobwebby hole there. I'm sure I've seen versions of that before. It clearly leads to something. One of the things I should be conscious of is the need for dyes and things. Watch out for that mountain. We've got a load of random flowers that we've picked up, but it's not just food and saplings and things that we should be growing in our hopper botany pots. We should be pumping out a couple of different flowers for specific coloured dyes that we might want, because I do remember there was the recipe for making slime balls, like the regular old green slime balls, by just taking wheat flour and water to make dough, and dyeing the dough green, or lime green. Which is a crazy trick, but if we want a lot of slime balls, that means we need a lot of lime green dye. And so that suggests that maybe, and of course there's going to be a huge bit there that hasn't loaded. I'm going to need to fly over there to make that load. Can't have that happen. Although the world is loading around me. We might just see what happens. And we might even check out a meteorite, since we've never seen one yet. Yeah, we should think about getting some specific coloured flowers, because that will also be useful. Which means we'll have to see how much room we've actually got left in our gardens, and whether we need to duplicate that over to a second garden plot beside it. Yeah, here we go. There's a meteorite right here. There's that. It's like a village baked directly into the thing here too. And it's getting dark. Random homestead over there. Oh, I'm too hungry to eat. Too hungry to fly. We just made it before crash landing. We will crash land now, so we can get out and have a quick nap on the rock here. I'm also noticing there's a bunch of andesite there, and if we have landed, yep, on the mother lode of surface andesite. Oh, we actually do have iron on us. Yep. We might make an iron pickaxe to blast through that. Obviously, we're going to need that to dig into there anyway. So let us do that. I'm sure we've thrown our crafting bench because we were struggling for space a long time ago. How have we got all these jungle planks on us? Where's our... That is the wood we've got on us. Sure. Okay. Let's put that there. Do a bit of eating. Yeah, let's eat that up. Take that bed back. If we can actually pick it up. Let us get an iron pickaxe on the go. Let's just check out that meteorite. Walk past all this iron along the way. So, what's all this stuff made out of? Skystone, of course. This is applied energistics. Yeah. I mean, we should grab some of this coal while we're here, because we're always in need of coal. And that being said, oh no, I thought we had a heap of coal in the backpack, but we actually don't. So, may as well grab all of this miscellaneous surface coal that's right here. Osmium for mechanism. Again, I don't recall, but I think osmium is one of those important sort of starting bits of mechanism, and we do maybe need to briefly dip into mechanism. And look at that! A sapling, without me even having to break a tree. It's just from trees breaking above us. Nice. Looking for other bits of coal. There's more saplings and twigs and things over here. Grab the saplings. Not that we need to. Bees floating around. Alright, and did I just... oh no, that's just skystone. Yeah, so I think this has just got like applied energistic stuff inside of it, if memory serves. You've got to really hack into it. I don't really want to vein mine this, although I might have to with how slow that is. Let's have a go at that. Yeah, there's a heap more in there. Already got the spam bots. Bam, there we go. Before Cthulhu's even in here, we've got spammers already. Alright, let me just, yeah, mine like that. Bam. Well, that felt kind of anticlimactic. Isn't there supposed to be something in here? We have a lot of skystone as well. You can make skystone out of slabs and smelting skystone dust and all that sort of stuff, so getting it's fine. What's it used for though? You can make a skystone chest. Yeah, I thought there was supposed to be one of those in there. That seems like the sort of thing where you can smelt it into blocks, cut it into bits, crush it back into the dust again. So I feel like the skystone dust is definitely useful. Yeah, you make it to make like all the things. So at the very least having a bunch of this is fine because you can crush it back into its dust. So it's not like this is all a complete waste, but I feel like some of this is a complete waste. I'm just going to mine a heap more of it out. As much as I said I wasn't going to vein mine this, I want to save for the andesite, but I guess we're doing it. There it is. Certus quartz and stuff, a little bit of coal. I'll grab that. Let's dig this out. We're going to end up breaking the pick doing this. And bits of stuff. There's the chest. It's all up there. And we're just fully out of space again now, because why wouldn't we be? I mean, oh, and I'm an iron short from making another pick. What are we even doing? I did see iron ore, but this is not efficient at all because I need a furnace. Oh dear, we need all sorts of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a thing up there. There's stuff to do. I've left myself iron here now. Okay, can we... have we got... we don't even have cobble for a furnace on us. Where's that crafting bench? Dear. This is hopeless. Apple. Coal! He sees the coal. We don't even have room for more coal. Where's the gyrodyne? It had inventory space. Dumped more stuff in there. More of these saplings and stuff. Get all that out of here. The extra bed. Saplings. Alright. Get out of here. Pick up this iron wherever it was. Pick up this stuff. Make a pickaxe. And by that I mean smelt this iron. Make a furnace. What have we got? Any cobble on us? Do we literally not have any cobble on us? They were our first 2 cobble. Right. Okay. Well, there's nothing that said we had to make a pickaxe out of iron. Stone pickaxe it is. Alright, go and get this coal. We're still not starting off strong, are we? We're still... Oh, more iron. Whoop. Ugh, come on. For what it's worth. Since we've already got raw iron on us, might as well stack it with some more. Okay. Now let's head back down in. Maybe the stone pickaxe is fine. It is fine. Okay. So, damaged, budding, Certus quartz, flawless Certus quartz. So yeah, so Certus quartz has got stuff on it. And a mysterious cube. Oh, I do actually need iron to get the sky stone. Or maybe we still do what we were going to do anyway. Smelt this up into a thing. Just get that going. I really gotta watch throwing away my items. Okay. Get a furnace going. I think that's the first furnace we've ever crafted, because there was always just one at the base that we had. Look, let's just do it. Okay. That'll give us enough to make another pick, which we can use to chop out more of that sky stone and sort of make some determination about that. So let's, for what it's worth, make a note on the map. From our base, it's this meteorite up here. Like, there's an even closer one, but this is the one that we've started to hack into. We could have checked out this tiny one, and maybe we will see what makes that tiny one so tiny on our way past. Whether it's a different type of meteor. Well, greenhouse there again. And that one patch of map that we're going to have to explore, because that will bug me no end if we don't generate that bit of terrain. How is that going so slowly? We got one more than there. Okay. Let me go down. Chop into a bit more of this sky stone up the top here. What's that sound? It's like a squishy sound in the background, like a slime bouncing around. Oh, I've done it again. Is there some sort of creature here that... I mean, there is the bee, but they're not going to be squishy. I sort of don't know that I want to disturb these, because I don't understand the rules for any of this, and that might be important. Mysterious cube. Also nighttime. So... Oh, it's the squishiness of the honey from them. Possibly. Yeah, we need to collect some more osmium. We'll check out that mysterious cube in the morning. Oh, wait. I took my bed with me. I thought it was still at the top. Where was that little bit of osmium? Another bit of iron. Literally one iron. Go up and put it in the thingo. Since it's smelting. Iron. Bam. Somewhere down here there was a random bit of osmium. There. Okay, let's get up in here and check what's going on. Right-clicking the mysterious cube does nothing. It's not a chest. Is it a breakable thing? It had a million things in it. Of course it did. Oh, it has all the presses in it. It's like we're dropping more stuff off in the sky ship. There's the other osmium. I knew there was more of it around somewhere. So, just stacks of skystone. That single skystone there, I think we can chuck. This one little bit by itself. So that we can pick up all these presses. There we go. Unknown technology. Find all the processor presses. Yeah, they were all in that one, which I think might actually be quite an amazing find. Honestly. Hold G to open guide. Whoa, that's big and zoomed in. 5 different presses used in the inscriber. Da 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 da. Yes, so Certus quartz and stuff like this. Yeah, getting started. The mysterious cubes and different things and growing crystals and throwing stuff in water. Yeah. Growth accelerator. So it's nice that there's all this now. And this is how we make the crafting terminals and the ME drives and everything. Yep. Except, hello B, I was thinking of doing refined storage for computers rather than applied energistics. So that's fine. That just might be a thing we don't bother with. But we've got the stuff if we need it. What we will get though, and I'll need to hop into here to just dump some more stuff in here. We might even leave that furnace and crafting bench there, because that's just wasted space of things to pick up. And we're going to chuck that one cobble again, because we don't need one cobble. We will grab as much andesite as we can, because andesite is gonna be important soon. Let's try not to stand on the andesite. Let's just get a heap of it. Found some coal. Nice. There goes the pickaxe, that's fine. I feel like that's also mining cobblestone as well as andesite. Yeah, we've somehow got 30 cobble in all that. But we did get sort of 2.5 stacks of andesite. I can continue to make more pickaxes with the cobble we got though. In fact, I can make 2 more pickaxes. Should we have the inventory space for it, I can throw that last stick. Overthunk. Okay. We can get a little bit more by using up the remainder of this pick. And by chucking this cobble. Well, literally 17 aside. Hardly worth it. I'd almost rather take the cobble. Okay. We are officially... sir? Hello? Landing in our flying machine? You've already got wings. We are officially completely chock full. We have no space anywhere. We need to get home. We need to display that bit of map, but then we need to get home. Let's go past this little bluebird here. Go just far enough to load in that bit of map, and then about face and head home. There's that nice green house that we were pointing out on the map, right there. We could stop to see if they are friend or foe. Does it have a door? Its door is over top of the cliff, maybe. It is hard to say. We will land. We have no space to get anything. So this is already a terrible idea. Has that bit of map loaded? That bit of map has loaded. Excellent. Get out of our way. Ah, good evening, Tooth. I heard a Discord sound half an hour ago. Checked Discord and couldn't see any message. Huh. So, does this place genuinely have no door? Oh, well, this is already bad noises. Well, I see cobwebs. I see a zombie. So, this might be something to check out another time. If this is how they generate. Yeah, no, we can't see in any of these sides. We will just get out of here. So I assumed it was on the YouTube video I was watching. Yes, those YouTubers that don't mute their Discord sounds. Yes, no, I was on the way back. We just did a couple of things on the way back, and I figured I'd check in on that house since we're in the neighborhood. We're on our way back to unload, to kind of reset, restock, and get back into some actual building stuff. Oh, this is that other structure. Since we're visiting all the things, this is that other structure, but from the other side, that I kept going past, saying we should stop in to see what that is, and every time I turned to look at it, we'd already gone past it. Load of wild bison in the area. There's that scary place on the snowy hill as well, full of pillagers. But this thing just looks like a big beacon sort of thing. It's also got 1,000,000 monkeys, which means I don't want to land like right next to all the monkeys. Whoops. Because things have been, and don't you, things have been getting in my flying machine. I've had to give them the chop. Yeah, these are Galata monkeys. I'm glad that they're friendly, because there's a million of them and I've just run into the middle of them all. This is just a big campfire hay bale structure. Part of me wonders whether there's like a secret inside those hay bales if I break them open, but I have literally no space, so that will be a mystery for another time. Sir, I told you not to get in there. Fine, you're coming home with me then. I can't chop you up, you're too nice. Yep, he's our pet now. Flying over into the sunset. Gonna have to eat, we're gonna fall out of the sky any moment now. Which reminds me, in addition to all the other things I said about projects and things we need to do when we get home, another project we need to do is make some upgrades to our backpack. In particular, if I remember rightly, there are some upgrades to the backpack, like a magnet upgrade that allows it to just automatically pick up any item on the ground, which may or may not be a good thing. But there's also an auto-feeding upgrade on the backpack that allows it to automatically feed you, which seems like my sort of thing, seeing as though I just forget to eat. Hi everyone, we're back. You can stay there because I don't know how to get you out. Actually, I do know how to get you out. But if I do break that, items are going to spill everywhere. Have you been producing a bunch more dandelions? I think you have. I don't seem to remember this many yellow flowers in your enclosure before. Yeah. You guys are still fine. We're going to need 1,000,000 chests to put this stuff in. So let's just start by unloading what we can. Gravel. Picking up 1,000,000 chests. Oh, we have no chests. That's right, because we literally used them all over there to make stuff. Alright, that's fine. Make 1,000,000 chests. Oh, jungle chest. Oh, no, we're not doing that. Not doing that. Regular old. I mean, we're in caps lock for some reason. Chest. Yeah, so we got like azalea chest, oak chest. What is this? How do I just make a chest? I don't want to make a jungle chest. I just want to make a regular chest. Regular Minecraft chest. Not fancy chest. Just ordinary chest. Oh, I can put any chest in there to turn it back into a chest. Oh, okay, sure. That's fine. I don't know, it's gonna break the aesthetic if I've got a heap of weird chests. And I've immediately done it this way. Let's do it that way. Bam. 4 chests, it's probably fine. And if we put them back in, there you go, 4 ordinary chests again. There's a rare late game weapon in the jungle chest. Yeah. Actually, why did I just craft 1,000,000 chests? Oh, yeah, that's the person chest. Sorry. There are actually a bunch of and I think we pillaged them now. There are a bunch of chests in the starter area that we've never done anything with. Partly because I had this rule that I didn't want to grief the starting area, and I believe this still obeys that rule. Now we have a heap of chests. Where am I even going to put them so that they don't connect to other chests? Oh dear. And what am I even putting in them? Let's just put some stuff there. So this can be like the stone chest, the chest with all the rocks and stones and things, and I guess clay maybe. Like it's the building block chest. Yeah, black stone, calcite, red sand, all them. They can go in there. That sort of stuff, right? We can have that sort of stuff all in a chest, so we can nab a bunch of it back out of here. So, yeah, obsidian, I guess. That well, maybe that doesn't count. Not sure. Gravel, gravel, gravel. Sand, andesite, dirt, dirt. They definitely count. I was going to say, if we have sand, we have glass, but terracotta. Then we start running into, like, yeah, having all these things, so. Let's also get all the stone out of here. That sort of stone, yep. Alright, dump off some of these other things. Coal, coal, that, iron. Getting all that together. Raw osmium to go with the few others we had. Put some of this food back. Keep the cactus on me for a bit to remind me of what we're doing. Same with the bone meal, I'll keep that on me to remind me of what we're doing. Books can go away. Random presses and stuff over here. Same with the banner, same with the books. We can put the jungle planks in the chest that's actually got the jungle tree in it. That'd fit better. Is there a chest with a jungle tree in it? Dark oak, oak, birch, spruce. There is not. There will be shortly, once I make one. Okay. So, that's in the to-do list as well. So, backpack full of things. All this clay. So I can cook the clay into bricks, right? That's fine. But I can also form the clay into clay blocks. And what happens when I cook that? That's how I just make regular terracotta. Which is great, that's how you would get terracotta, but there's so much in the world that we don't need to be doing that. And when I make the clay into clay blocks, I can make silt out of it. Can I just break clay blocks back down into clay again? I thought I could, just by punching it. It looks like maybe it breaks back down to 3, which is silly. So it's actually not a good idea to turn all this clay into blocks of clay. Okay, well, we've sort of got no choice but to empty it out of our inventory. Maybe we just put it in another chest for now. Just to get it all somewhere. Get these other things out of here. That one. Paper? No, did I? Do I have not? No, I don't have paper anywhere. Carpet. It's probably nowhere as well. Yeah. Bamboo and moss ought to go in the organics thing, but I was growing bamboo, so we keep that to the side as well. Armor. Yep, there is a bunch of armor in here. Put the potions in there. Waystone can go in there. Okay. Bamboo leaves, sure. The whoopee cushion. Okay. That's not bad. We've emptied ourselves with a bunch of stuff. We need to get some of this clay just cooking away. For bricks and things. Oops. So what I'm going to do is, because we had this furnace here, cooking away some stuff. We got a heap of coal. I think it's about time we made ourselves a little auto furnace. What did it take to make a chute again? Oh, nice, and smart chute. Yeah, we've got to actually start the create stuff, which we're not far from. Surely we're gonna do that tonight. We're gonna start create. Smart chute needs the brass sheet. That's right. And so, what is brass? Brass is what we get by mixing together copper and zinc. Fine. Okay, no, all good, all good. So, yeah, so we can't make chutes, it's just regular old hoppers. So let me make a bunch of iron. What do we want? 2 hoppers. And a furnace. And it's bedtime. And we'll do this over here out of the way, near this other one. So we need an output chest, a hopper going into the output chest, a furnace for items to smelt in, and a hopper going into that furnace. Okay, and we just fill that hopper, well, and we can even put a chest on top. Nope, that was a fail. Come on, we'll get it on the 3rd go. Okay. If we're not going to get it on the 3rd go, we are going to build ourselves a chest staircase. There. Whatever works. Okay, and now, if we just smash this up, get all this clay back, and deposit the clay into this top chest. Oh. Oh, we done goofed. That's the side you load the fuel in. It's got to be the top. Okay. That was bad. Also, no pick. Once again, can't break hoppers. What are we even doing? I can make a stick like that. Alright, break the hopper. Clay is gonna spill out everywhere. Okay. Hopper on top. which means break the clay chest again. Put the clay chest on top here. And now fill it up with the stuff. Oh yeah, I can double click. Ah, modded Minecraft. Okay, now the furnace is filling up with clay. Right, via the hopper. Okay, that's full, that's full, that's full. Okay. Right. You know what? I like it better if it looks like this. Not that I will ever look into this chest, but just because it's going to drain down like that. Will flow into there, that will flow into there. As long as we give that, like, you know, endless fuel, we're good to go. Which means we can use a stack of our coal, but what we might do is get out 8 coal, take a stack of some wood, stack of any old wood, that was unintentional. Make a stack of charcoal. And can we make charcoal blocks? We can. I'm assuming that you can smelt stuff. 80 items, yep, so you're more efficient than the 8 charcoal that it took to make you. So that's good. So that'll get you 64 charcoal, which will give us 8 charcoal blocks, which will let us smelt heaps of things. Failing to do the maths. Alright. Okay, so that's underway. Hopper botany pots. We've got room for one more in the center, in like the food area. But cactus. Oh, and cactus has to go on sand, doesn't it? Yeah. And we want a ton of cactus. Like, I think I'm going to devote those 3 to cactus. So 3 sand. And we could actually use red sand. Is that better? No, it's still speed 1 times. Oh, tiny cactus. That's fun. Yeah, there's red snad. 2 red sands make a red snad. I remember the other recipe was balked. Is this one fine? No, that makes red snad. Interesting, interesting. So, cactus and sugarcane, they now grow faster with red snad. So does the coconuts. Okay. Well, sugarcane, cactus, and coconuts can all be red snadded. So there's 3, 6, and 7. 7 red snad. Okay, and bamboo, yes, that's just going in ordinary dirt. You make bamboo, but bamboo leaves. Bamboo thatch. Composter. So I think these bamboo leaves are worthless. They are getting chucked. Blip. Bamboo. And yeah, so we've got flax things. That's all flax, yeah. We've got some saplings, definitely not all of them. A coconut, a bamboo, and some cactuses. Some sugar cane, some kelp. So we got one more for food. So carrots, potato, wheat. And then we have to replicate this structure one more time. So, is everything emptied now? Not at all. Here's all the extra things. Yeah, miscellaneous chest of miscellaneous things could do with a partner. Just a load of junk at the moment. So, what's in here that doesn't need to be in here? The string, maybe? The glass bottles? The water bottle? Yes, the rest technically makes sense. We don't need dead bushes. Like, why are we holding on to them? And the same with the fern. Like, that's not a thing we need. Can I throw it into the campfire? I don't think it'd burn. No, it's not real fire. And likewise, there are saplings here for trees that we've got over there, so this whole chest can do with a little bit of an overhaul anyway. And it's getting dark. Wow, that didn't take long. So, our string, our bottles. Yeah, I can understand why the string was over there because the flax was over here, but that's large ferns. We don't need them. If we don't need regular ferns, we definitely don't need large ferns. Have a nap. Get out all these saplings. Work out what we do and don't have. All this sugar cane, that doesn't need to be in there anymore. Even the flax seeds. The carrots don't need to be in there anymore. They're cooked potatoes. The apples technically don't need to be in there anymore. Or the potatoes. You can haunt potatoes and the poison potatoes. Or the wheat. Or the regular old wheat seeds. That's just brought us back a load of space. They can go back in there. I think we're good. Okay. Take them out of there. So we're going to put half of these back where they belong. And before we do that, we're going to check to see, yep, all of our charcoal's done. No, it's not. We're getting there. We're getting there. Nice. Coming along nicely, so I'll put a bunch of that in there. Flax seeds can go in there. Regular old wheat. It's this guy. Wheat seeds and wheat. Potatoes. Carrots. Apples are for the oak tree, yep. As well as oak saplings, and these are spruce saplings. Oh, the wheat itself. These oranges, actually, we can't do the orange trees in the botany pots, so they're not quite in this same stuff, but each of those can easily go into a pot. So I wonder, should some of this actually be toned down a bit, peeled back? We may not need 3 cactuses. Acacia, jungle. We could stick a bamboo in the middle here. We do an adjustment. Yeah, let's adjust a few things. I'm going to take these 3 out of here. I'm just going to wait for them to grow. Just because we can. They get big, don't they? Which one's going to win? I thought the bamboo was going to win. There we go. Okay, so bamboo can go in here. Yeah, bamboo just goes on regular stuff. Which means we take the bamboo bits out of there and put the bamboo in there. We also need to empty out the cactus from there and there, and just put it in there. And these 3 can have these 3. Okay, and that means, for the time being at least, we don't need to build a whole nother one of these places. We'll put these guys down here because they're special. So we got more chests than ourselves. The jungle planks should go in with the jungle ones I just put in. Although, the jungle planks. Okay, now there are 1,000,000 sticks. Alright. Let's put the iron back. Don't need to be holding it right this second, probably. And the bone meal, that's a reminder to us that we need to do composting stuff. So, let me just give that a moment's thought. I'll craft this. There was a crafting bench back there, but I've just blanked and I'm using that one. Of course, it's only 7, yeah, because it's 9, not 8. Yeah, I was already doing the maths wrong. So if we stick this in here as fuel, yeah, that cooks 80 things. So 7 of them, it's going to cook 560 things, which is, well, we got 1,000 clay up there, another 320. We've got 1,300 clay, plus some in there, 1,400 clay. So we've got to do that again, as it were. So let's get another whole nother thing of things. now we've got one charcoal sitting over. We'll make up the difference at the end. That's some lag. There we go. And that is hopefully filling up with the bricks. Yeah, so that's just a gentle supply of bricks for now. You're ticking away our iron, which is very nice. Over 3.5 stacks of it. Okay, so composting. So I was conscious of the fact that we might want a heap of bone meal. I've always got caps lock on for something, because bone meal is always super handy. Like, you can get bone meal from bones, obviously. That's the natural way of getting bone meal. What are these giant bones? Heavy bones. Wow. Or seashells, of course. We discovered that. Cooking up bones, crushing copper sulfate. Wow. Copper and sulfuric acid. Oh dear. Oh no, that's all a bit fancy. We're not up to that yet at all. Millstone, what's that? Calcite. Calcite maybe gets bone meal, but again, that's a weird way of doing it. So there's the getting of bones, but the other place that you get bone meal from that this just isn't showing you is a composter. Like the old vanilla composter. Right? All the things you can put into a composter. As I understand it, unless I'm misunderstanding what's going on here, you just put organic stuff into a composter and out comes bone meal. Even though this is reading completely backwards. So maybe we need to test this out ourselves. If we've got 7 slabs, we put a bunch of organic stuff into a composter. There's a bunch of slabs. Right. This was a composter. We put a bunch of organic stuff in there, like excess seeds and saplings and things. Well, like wheat, you know. Although that is bread, and that is flour. Potatoes. If I just jam a bunch of organic material into the composter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go, that just composts, and then, yeah, an extract from that bone meal. That's the natural way to make bone meal, right? So, in terms of composting for a heap of stuff, we can set up like just a dedicated hopper botany pot to be feeding into a composter only compostable things, like potatoes or carrots or something. So I would need to, you know, if I'm trying to do this the best possible, I'd want to know, you know, what's the best thing to stick into a composter. I don't understand all this chance business that's showing here. This makes it look like there's a chance of getting these things. If I find potato on here, wherever it's gone, yeah, 65%. Like, I put in like 8. Oh, a batch composter. Oof. I put in like 8 potatoes, right, into the composter. Night time, and that got us out our bone meal. So that gets me like 1 to 2 with 2 extras, yeah. In terms of things that give me compostable outputs, you can't compost logs. You can definitely compost like sticks and apples and all these sorts of things. You can even compost like flowers and stuff. But I'm just thinking, is there a crop that gives me like a bunch of stuff? Oh, like melons. I don't know that you can compost a whole melon. I think you've got to compost like melon slices, and I'm not in here for the steps and things. A minute to get 1 to 2 bamboo, but again, I bet bamboo puts hardly anything towards a compost. Rose bush, interesting. Oh, lily pads. Oh, beetroots. We don't have beetroots. I'm sure there were villages that had that though. Moss. We do have moss actually. Why can I put moss on such weird things? Moss has got to go on like an ore block. Or on granite. Or on diorite. Or on blackstone. We've got that. And it only takes 1 minute. Andesite, grass block, iron ore, basalt, puzzle. Is it going to just be dirt's just going to be in the list, isn't it? I'm going to be able to put this in anything. Yeah, dirt. Exactly. Okay. So a moss block on dirt. That only takes a minute. We've got 4 of them. So as an experiment, can I put 1 of them into here? I can. Alright, then let's consider producing, put these slabs back, producing, and we'll put the potatoes back as well. Let's consider producing a hopper botany setup leading into a composter. So it's going to do exactly this. A chest leading into a hopper. Well, no, it's not at all. No. It's a hopper botany pot leading into a hopper, weirdly, leading into a composter with a hopper coming out into a chest, and that's going to fill up with bone meal. So we just replicate exactly that setup. This is ticking along nicely. We're getting things there. That's still ticking away. Okay, so we just need, 2 more hoppers. No, that's the wrong thing to be clicking on. Where's that iron gone? That's only the 1 hopper. Short on my favourite wood, which for some reason is that wood. I've got the 2 chests, I've got the composter. We only actually need 1 chest, but we do need a hopper botany pot. And I've forgotten to include the fact that they need a hopper. So we need a flower pot, a hopper, and 5 terracotta again, which we have since moved to here. And we need 3 bricks. Do we have bricks and stuff all still in the main chest? We do. So these should be moved across now, because they don't belong here anymore. Boop, boop, boop. That one. A hopper. And a hopper botany pot. Which means we need to make another hopper because we've wasted one. Oh, we've got the iron with us. Okay. And we've got the dirt and we've got the thing. Okay. Is this done yet? Super close. If I grab... Oh, there's my one extra charcoal. If I grab one more coal, because I'm just going to think this through. This is about to make 64, so 63, so there's another one left over, so there's 2 left over, so if I get 7 more, so 7 more logs to cook. There's 7 more logs. So 7 more logs with 1 more bit of coal to keep it going. And again, I don't know why I'm running back to this same crafting bench all the time when there's literally one on the other side of the furnace. But it's not mine, it's not the one I put there, so I'm just not conscious of it. So when that's done, that's enough to make 1 more, and then that's that complete. Let's use it. Since we're here, let's use it. We don't need to use it. I just need to start setting this thing up. Okay. So to mirror this system, we might just do it side by side. We'll do that. We'll have a hopper feeding into it. We'll have on top of it the composter. We have on top of that the hopper. And we're back to this old game again, but at least we can climb to that now. But on top of that, and this is the tricky one, we need the hopper botany pot that has the moss in it. So that's going to be slow going, but that's going to slowly produce moss, which will just feed straight into the composter, I hope. And when that fills up with stuff, that will just pop out a ban that thing there. There we go. Pop out a bone meal into this chest. So let's put in now 1 bone meal in there. Did we have a couple more? We did. So there's our 4 test bone meal that this ought to be producing for us. That's good. That's 9. That's that 1 extra charcoal block. In there it goes. So that should be fine to get a bunch of them cooking. Okay. That's just going to be slow going. Yep, if we look into there, there is a tiny bit of compost in there. So that has done like 1 thing. Which is fine. It's done a thing. Okay, so that'll slowly tick over and slowly get us bone meal. For one day in the future when we might want a bunch of bone meal. Okay, let's put that back. Let's stick a chest there. Oh, and we had a clock. Didn't even notice that because it seems so normal to have a clock in our inventory. Food-wise, when this bread's gone, we can just start chowing down on some of this steak, I reckon. Oh, I was keeping them separate. As a reminder that they were special. Okay. Since we're talking about eating, let me just quickly check backpack. So, what was the backpack mod? Sophisticated backpacks. So, pickup upgrade makes the backpack pickup items. Has filtering enabled. Filter upgrade. Filters item piped in and out of the backpack. Magnet upgrade. Right. Feeding upgrade. Feeds players with food from backpack's inventory. Right. Compacting upgrade. Void upgrade. We don't want that. Restock upgrade. Deposit upgrade. Refill upgrade. Inception upgrade. Makes it possible to put backpacks into the backpack. Ooh, that's dangerous. Everlasting upgrade. Backpack becomes indestructible. Can't despawn or fall into the void. Interesting. Smelting upgrade. Huh. Auto smelting upgrade. Smoking upgrade. Blasting upgrade. Right. Crafting upgrade. Ooh. A stone cutter upgrade. Stack tier starter upgrade. Multiplies the number of stacks that can fit in a slot by 1.5. Oh, we definitely want that. Stack downgrade. Multiplies stacks per slot by the maximum value. Oof. Jukebox upgrade. Tool swapper. Tank. Battery. Pump. Anvil. Smithing. Infinity upgrade admin. There is no recipe for it. Survival infinity upgrade. Alchemy upgrade. Upgrade base, right. Oh, and then the workbenches. Interesting. So what are the stack tier upgrades? Stack tier 1 upgrade. Right. Bunch of iron. And, we need leather. But yeah, we could start to... Ooh, gold, yeah, diamond. Why am I hurting? It is nighttime. And no one told me. Creeper, creeper. That's one way to do that. Oh, there's more. Oh, there are zombies everywhere. This is awkward. Welcome to officially our first night, I guess. You better not be going for my doggo. Come on, mate. Oh, that was another creeper. Get to bed. I sort of forget about the fact that I haven't like lit up any of the landscape. So like everything is literally pitch black. We could have just taken to the air for safety, but I felt that we had a responsibility to look after things a little bit. Come on. No, that wasn't an explosion hole. Okay. Oh, and that destroyed a little bit of our path, our nice path. I'm going to have to craft a shovel in order to fix that. I don't even have a shovel. I was going to do the saying, I've lived here for weeks, maybe it's time for walls or lights. Nah. Dear. Accurate, though. Grass spreading to the bottom of the hole. That's not what we need. I mean, I got little lanterns inside there and a campfire, but I'm not sure that they technically produce any meaningful amounts of light. Okay, let's start by putting some things away. We just got some rotten flesh. Is there rotten flesh in here? There is, along with the leather. Dirt. We're eating that. Okay, I think we're good. What was I even doing? I was looking at backpacks. Yeah, I was just starting to get all a bit excited about this. There's a couple of different ways of making these. Yeah. But mainly it was the auto feeding one. Apart from all these other things, the stack one might be nice as well. So these are my upgrade slots, I think. Yeah, backpack settings. Item display settings, backpack settings. Player levels. Shift click into inventory first. Keep tab. Search phrase open. Another player can open. Another player can open. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so we got spots for 2 upgrades, so that'll be like the eating upgrade and like the stack upgrade or something. So feeding upgrade, advanced feeding upgrade. Why is there a recipe that requires like oh, because that's sophisticated storage. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright. Sophisticated backpacks requires all this stuff. But sophisticated backpacks, that's a recipe that's added by sophisticated storage, another mod. And so it's got its own stuff that's much cheaper. It doesn't require ores, it just requires things. Ah, that's why there seem to be double the recipes for everything. So, the sophisticated storage upgrade. Advanced feeding upgrade, advanced feeding upgrade. Oh, but then that just takes us in a cycle. That doesn't actually do anything. So you would make a feeding upgrade with all that stuff, which we're not doing. And then you take a feeding upgrade and surround it by that, and you'd make that advanced feeding upgrade. Okay. So a regular feeding upgrade feeds players with food from backpack's inventory. And the advanced version of that yeah, as it is, we're gonna need all this stuff. We're gonna need an ender pool. Okay, we're not up to doing that yet. We are not up to doing that yet. Okay, that was fun to look at. The other thing I wanted to check out was just how much we need for some of the other easy villager things. Nether bricks, gold block, and we can start getting a easy piglins. But we need a piglin to do that. We need to pick up a piglin. So we would have to do a trip to the Nether anyway, where we could get a piglin, stick it in there for easy bartering. So at some point we need to do a Nether run. Trader, auto trader. So Iron Farm was the important one. Yeah, we need like one bit of redstone to get started on any of this, and we won't get in the netherite for the auto one. Okay, okay, maybe we just ignore all that for now and just head on to other things. That's all of our blocks. Put that in there, put that in there. Let's check on how you guys are going. These things surely aren't going to be full. They're slow going. The things that are going to be at risk of getting full, okay, well, we put a bunch of extras in there. How's the kelp going? Good. The things that are at risk of getting full are the things that produce multiple items. Like these guys. But they're okay. It's going to take a while. Yeah. For them to fully fill up with stuff. Cactus, nice. Oh yeah, because we were also thinking about doing another copy of all these with flowers in there. Let me just check about all the different dye recipes. Wall lamp. Dye base mechanism. What's dye base used for? Painting machine. Yeah, well we're not talking about that. So regular old white dye, yeah, coming from white flowers, grinding up things. You can haunt black dye into white dye. So your haunting machine can change dye colours, I take it. So like light grey dye, yep, so from very specific flowers, or grey and white, you know, mixing them, crushing things. Yeah, so grey, yep, from very specific flowers. Crushing charcoal maybe gives grey dye. All that sort of stuff. Black dye with the roses, which we can grow. Right, yep, so, yep. Haunting white dye turns into black dye and vice versa. So at some point, if we want all this sort of stuff, that might be important, but slime balls specifically, slime balls, we were putting lime dye onto dough, and lime dye, well, yeah, it's green dye and white dye, or it's just green flowers, right? So this is the part where I'm gonna like eat some of my words here, because I was thinking that we were getting cactus to get green dye and all this sort of stuff, and white dye, but maybe there's just a direct hopper botany route here, because green dye and white dye, well, green dye is what you get by smelting cactus, right? Or crushing ferns. Would you look at that? Ferns have got a use now. Or crushing cactus doubles the dye. Or haunting red dye. All sorts of things here. But we could make lime green dye just out of special lime botania flowers, or a curly fern from Alex's cave thingo. Could smelt sea pickles. Sea pickles can literally grow. They're faster in a bucket of cod. That's so weird. Bucket of tropical fish, bucket of cod, bucket of salmon. Yeah, a sea pickle. Which you can smelt straight into lime green dye, but again that's an extra step, whereas this can just, these flowers directly. you can just put... Ooh, wow, what do they want? Oh wait, actually they'll grow on anything, won't they? Yeah, logs and stuff. Stone. I saw logs, so that's fine. Just seeing if dirt's in here. I don't know, the dirt is in there. But all the stones and trees and stuff are. So if we saw... Oh, it's nighttime. Saw in my peripheral that it was nighttime. Any baddies about? I saw a spider. Come here, you. You're fine now that it's daytime. Take your eye out and a bit of free string. My string's in here, isn't it? And the spider's eye's in here for some reason. Gotta go back down that rabbit hole again now. Lime green dye. So, yeah, if we're able to find lime shimmering mushrooms, Botania, that just makes lime stuff straight away. Otherwise, curly fern. It takes... Oh, coarse dirt. Yeah. So, on just regular, you know, dirt, yeah, farmland, sure. But on regular dirt, you get a curly fern every minute, and a curly fern is 2 lime dye. So either curly ferns from Alex's caves, or a mystical, a lime shimmering mushroom. Lime petal block. Tall mystical lime flower. Oh, we could actually just make one of these. Lime shimmering mushroom. Right. Take any mushroom and lime dye. Okay. Right, well, we're going to make that. Get any mushroom, get some lime dye, and we're going to make one of these. Because curly ferns could be anywhere. Right. Any mushroom. There were like mushrooms all over the place in other biomes. Like there was mushrooms all over the place over here and stuff. There might even be mushrooms anywhere here. Okay, we're going to do a quick mushroom run, because I might set up one of these sort of things, or just a basic hopper botany pot. Because I don't think we actually need all this cactus now. I think I'm going to replace this cactus. After all that work to find cactus, because I thought the whole reason we were getting cactus was so that we could get its dye. I think I'm going to replace that cactus pot with the lime green one. The special Botania lime green thing. So, we just need to find a mushroom. Or if we find the lime green flower. So, let's go for a little fly, mate. Keep your eyes peeled for either mushrooms or green flowers. Let's head up the side of the mountain here. Because there's like flowers and things. Oh, there's lime green things right there. Although they look like the wrong type of flower. Oh, but there's also more lime green things up there. Okay. Well, that wasn't hard, was it? Are you the right type of lime green? That's a tall one. That's a little one. No, it wasn't just the flower, it was the mushroom, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a lime shimmering mushroom, not flower. That's, yeah, so it doesn't matter that you guys are green flowers. It's a green mushroom we're after. Yeah, mystical lime flower. Oh, I've pushed that button again. How much does that use up? 4. Nice. Yeah, mystical lime flower. Yeah, it just makes more of it. So these are no good. I'm just chucking them. Okay, so we're back to square one. It's mushrooms we're after. Because I need a lime green mushroom, so I need to be able to change a mushroom lime green. Thanks for waiting, doggo. So over to wherever the mushrooms were. I bet there's a slim chance we even have mushrooms at home. Like, in our chest. Just randomly. There's mushrooms. You know, we could have just randomly picked up mushrooms at some point, I feel. May as well get the 4 of them since we're here. Okay. Alright, back home we go. See, I would have been bringing back 1 or 2 of everything just in case, and with these mod packs, I still have barely made it out of the starting valley. I know. That's the danger with something as expansive as this, which is why I'm trying to sort of focus myself in on specific things. Because, yeah, there are things in this mod pack we are just never going to touch. So it's a maddening path to just sort of open the mod list and just look for things to do. You'll be going forever with stuff. So let us get some lime dye. So lime dye requires white dye, for which I'll sacrifice 1 of the bone meals. Even though only 1 bone meal has been produced, that's scary. Do I have a white flower? I have like 1 of a thing. You don't even make white dye, you make light grey dye. You also make light grey dye. That's annoying. So it's Lily of the Valley, or bone meal, or a mystical thing. Alright, bone meal it is. Alright. I need 1 of your bone meals. 1 of your finest bone meals. And then, for green, just smelt a cactus real quick. Let's use that. Get it out the way. Two lime dye. 1 of those. We can keep our lime dye as backup. And no. Put the lime dye in. No, we'll just leave it out, because we're going to put this into a hopper botany pot on, well, on many things. I think these are all the same speed, right? So we can put it on like a stone block, of some type, like blackstone, times 1. It doesn't look like it's... oh, that's slower. I don't see why it would be any faster on some of these. I can put it on jungle logs. Just checking, just in case it's faster on any of these for any particular reason. Cobblestone. I'm putting it on cobblestone. Because we have an abundance of that, so may as well just grab a cobblestone from right behind me. I have some on my inventory, what am I even saying? Okay, back to the old hopper botany pot, and what am I doing? I'm just literally setting it up right here. Where's my chest of chests? There's my extra chest. No, I'm not, I'm replacing that one. That's what I'm doing. Also going to sleep in a moment. It's replacing the cactus. That's exactly what we said we were doing. That and that. Green dye can go into the food chest there, as can the cactus. Oh, and the sand. And now it's sleep time. And that's not sand, it's snad. Alright, pause for a drink. Excuse me. That's ticking away. Yeah, I knew I was premature getting that out. Oh, nice. Another stack's worth of done. Nothing's cooking over there. This is continuing to go away. Yeah, it's getting there. We're getting through it. We're getting tons of bricks. Which again, don't really know why we need tons of bricks. Just for if we need more of these, we'll have bricks on hand. Actually, we were going to, as I continue to get distracted, acacia. We were going to check out what acacia fences look like. Just to see if they're nicer than those ones. Just from a purely visual sort of thing. Hard to say. Hard to say. The darkness of the spruce picks up some of the, like the darker elements of the bricks here. This is definitely an oranger. The acacia feels oranger. I don't know that I mind it. Maybe I do. It might be okay. I think I have to get used to seeing it for a while. Let's try it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more of that. Got to be able to do that recipe 7 more times. That was 3 more times. We need to do it 4, so we need to get what we got just then. 4 more of those. Just do exactly what we just did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it all again. There we go. standing on the crops. It's okay. Definitely, it's trample resistant. Like, that's another thing. You can step on them and not smash them. Which is, like, brilliant for crops as well. Fences. There we go. Okay. Okay. Things ticking away. That's sort of got all that going for now. 4 of them, and they just immediately pull apart into lime green dye. Perfect. So that's the beginning of slime balls. So next thing to do, we need to start heading towards the create mod pack. We need to start getting into the mechanical side of things, crushing wheels and pulverizing things and blowing fans and all this sort of stuff. Which means we need to start getting towards creating mechanical power and all that kind of stuff, which means we're going to need another plot to start doing these sorts of things. And as we start slowly heading towards machinery, I'm thinking of having this sort of a design again. Oh, I need a shovel to do this again now. Heading towards this sort of design again, but instead of just brick walls surrounding stuff, I'm thinking of having like sort of like copper catwalk sort of thing. Let me have a look at pages and pages of copper. Because it's like, no, that's just a facade. I think it's copper that I'm thinking of in my mind. It might be one of those weird brick things again. Yeah, there's like copper catwalk stairs, copper catwalk, this sort of stuff. Yeah, we're just into random things now. Copper catwalk railing, you know, all that sort of nice decorative stuff. But of course, the catch-22 of this is that this requires, oh no, copper, straight into copper catwalk in the stone cutter. Ah, in the stone cutter. It's going to shortcut it for me. It's going to say, 'cause you need to create stuff to make this. But no, you can stone cut copper ingots. Okay, iron ingots with 3 stone cutter. We have actually got a stone cutter. What am I even saying? Okay, so iron in the, not iron, copper in the stone cutter. Right, here we go. So we can make straight away copper catwalk stairs, copper catwalk, these sorts of things. We need to start smelting up some of this copper. That's the next thing. That was the wrong way. That was what I wanted. Get copper smelting. So like, what are these going to look like? Like, I'm going to have to place some blocks down and just sort of get a feel for what's happening here. You know, like these sorts of things. You know, we would have like some sort of flooring, and this would like step us up to like some machineries and things. Like, I feel like this is like a fun sort of aesthetic as we start to get into machines and stuff. Copper's a sort of a step ahead though. Like, I'm thinking that we start more wooden and we sort of head into copper. So this is great, and we're definitely going to use it, but it might be on the back burner for a little bit. We might just start with like a sort of a wooden setup. So let me get the next chunk semi-prepared. We can sort of start prepping a workspace to build in, and we can start looking at a bit of the create mod. Oh, we've gone out of our zone now. Just getting anything that's like near the edges. We're going to fill that in. Do we even have enough dirt to fill that in? Probably not. Let's just fill that in. Speaking of, that's not how you spell building gadget. Building gadget. It's going to be a long time before we get to any of these sort of things, but yeah, but it's not ridiculous. It's just the basic things. And we need to be able to charge it. One day we're going to be able to do fancy building. Just like we can vein mine to dig out large amounts of areas at once, we can use a building gadget to build large amounts of area at once. And that'll be fancy. But I've never used one before, I've just seen it in action, like a lot of things in this mod pack. So we would have to just make it up as we go. But that's fine. So chuck some of this away. Do we have pebbles? We do. And the seeds technically live over in the wheat. In the wheat one. And then we have a quick sleep. So, in terms of the aesthetic of stairs and things, because we're gonna have, I'm gonna do the same sort of border thing in this chunk for the tiling pattern of it all. Gotta leave some of that to let things spread back. Alright. For the tiling pattern of it all, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to have like steps in here to go up to like a little raised platform. Against this, maybe acacia would be a good colour scheme for it. We might give it a go. Might check this out. So I want to discover a much more efficient way of making the steps, because I'm sure there is a way more efficient way. So like 6 of them make 4 stairs. Otherwise, 1 to 1 in a soaring mechanical saw, but that's literally what we're working towards in the create mod, this sort of stuff. So, no, just 6 for 4 now. And that's nowhere near enough. That might be close. Yeah, okay. Let's test that out. Raining. So and of course I've got to let all this Grow back still. Oop. Just need to let that come in. And so as interior to this, we would just have acacia planks. I got way more than I needed. Can I use these for anything? They smelt. They smelt. Yep, they're fuel now. Or more building blocks if I want them. Also keep an eye on how dark it's going to slowly get. Rain always hides the darkness. Get a bit more. Pushed a random button there. Yeah, that's fine. Just leave all that there to grow back. So this is like our platform for this area. So I can take this off now. This is our next chunk across. So we built all that so we can get all this out of our inventory. Do for now. Checking that we can't sleep. Yep, good, it's not actually night time. Hey, how's all that copper going? It's getting there, it's nearly done. Yes. Actually, we can look at that clock. Which is telling us it's only just after midday. And it looked like it was telling us that from inside the chest too. That's okay. Alright, so now we've got to start working out how to begin with create. Without like an instructional guide. So we're starting with either a water wheel or a windmill or something like that to start making mechanical power. I feel like maybe a windmill just makes more sense because of how much string we've got. But a water wheel's kind of fun too. But we might just jump straight into windmill if we're able to do that. So, windmill bearing, hold W to ponder, kinetic stress capacity. So what about water wheel? Small, yeah, so windmill is actually just better. You'd think. So, let's ponder this, see sort of what the story with these are. So, windmill bearings to attach them I need slime blocks, which means I need super glue. So that's already a thing. Okay. So I'm already forgetting several steps here. So I need super glue in the first place. which is slime balls, iron nuggets, and an iron plate. So yeah, I can't even start getting to windmills until I've got iron plates, and I can't do that until I've started squashing things, and so I need mechanical power already. So no, we have to start with water wheels. Okay, you can't jump the progression. Start with a water wheel, or maybe a large water wheel. Yeah, may as well go to the large one. Which means we need a shaft, which means we've got to get andesite alloy. Andesite alloy is, yep, zinc and andesite. So take andesite, zinc nuggets. So, yeah, this is why we dug up all that andesite, because I knew we were going to need heaps of andesite after a while. But I forgot that it's zinc that you need with it. So that's oh, there it is. So we cook it. Yep. And that's that. So zinc, annoyingly. So andesite alloy. Yep, it's only zinc. I thought there was like a second way of making it, but apparently not. So that's done. We need to have been getting way more of that than we actually have been. That's what we're learning from that. I was all focused on osmium and all these other sorts of things, but zinc is really what we need to be focusing on. So yeah, each zinc turns an andesite into andesite alloy. So we just need endless supplies of andesite alloy. Wow. Copycat things, yeah. It's actually zinc nuggets that do that. Zinc nuggets that make the andesite alloy. So actually this is way better than it sounds, because I've got to turn this back into nuggets now. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Is it time to sleep yet? No. So we're going to turn this back into nuggets. So that's 45 nuggets. So that's in fact 45 andesite alloy. There we go. Sturdier rocks. Oh, no. Oh, that's an advancement. Ah, advancements. Oh, to fabricate. Applied energistics. Ah, yeah, so we got all the processes. Sure. I forgot that there's this. Aha, to fabricate. Acquire an orange. Here we go. Ooh. Prevent or cure yourself of wither with orange juice. Interesting. Oh, Alex's Caves. Oh, and that's that museum thing. Okay. Adventures, that's just regular Minecraft stuff. Mechanism. Ooh. How far does that go? That seems a bit scary. First generator, start making a heat generator. Well, I am going to do that at some point. Why is that so far apart? Welcome to create. There we go. Alex's mobs. Ooh. Have your food stolen. We had that. There's the Britannia. There's the regular Minecraft ones. Taste the rainbow. Okay, welcome to create. So here we go. Right, this is what I need. Something to sort of get me through the progression. So, here we contraptions. Yep, obtain some andesite alloy. Creates most important resource. So then we can get water wheels. And then start assembling things for a windmill. Oh, a weighted ejector. Wind maker, yeah, windmill, yeah, right. And we just start sort of working through some of this. Oh, come on, it's got to be nighttime any minute now. Compass reckons so. There we go. And by compass I mean clock. The thing that tells the time. Okay, so is there a hotkey for advancements? There probably is. Yeah. So just making water wheel was the next advancement there. But that's fine. Water wheel is what we were heading towards anyway. So we need shaft. We need, yep. So let's get a bunch of shafts because we're going to need a heap of them. That's just any planks. We just need more wood on us to do some stuff with. Whoa, I can turn them straight into sticks? That was an unexpected recipe. Okay, water wheel. Nice. Make a big water wheel. Nice. How is that advancement not done? Oh, place a water wheel and use it to generate torque. Oh, like actually physically do the thing. Sure. Well, hopefully it still works for a large water wheel. So, pondering these guys. Yep. Put water on there. Water flows over there. Turns things. Alright. Covering additional sides will not improve the... these rotate at only half the speed of regular water wheels, but provide a substantially higher stress capacity. Place on the wheel to change its appearance. Oh, I can right click on it with a type of wood to change the color. Oh, that's nice. Did not even think of that. So, let me just go back and read some of that again. How do I pause it? Covering additional sides will not improve its kinetic output further, right? Yeah. These rotate at half the speed of regular water wheels, yes. Configuring provide substantially higher stress capacity. Okay, yeah. That's fine, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So, we've got our bucket of water. We've got our large water wheel. We're going to need to think about sort of somewhere to put this. Like, let's just imagine and of course it's like even versus odd and all this sort of stuff. That's huge. Okay. Maybe we aim to like put it in a corner. So it's like 2 blocks across. It really is massive, isn't it? Okay. So if we aim to have it sort of end here. We would need to put it on top of this one. And is it fine there? Like dug into the ground? That could be okay. And so if I place water like here, which I can't because Minecraft, if I place water here, yes, that water just flows straight down to there. Okay. And there's our achievement as well. There you go, perpetual motion. We've got ourselves a source block of water that just flows down, and we have mechanical power. So I put that back in there. And part of me feels like this would make more sense if there was just water all along the bottom there. So let's see if I can just put water there and have it not break what's happening. Maybe I should have done this before that was in. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. We'll just ignore it. So this now gets us mechanical power, right? We can stick shafts on this. You know, out comes rotational power. What I do know is that mechanical stuff can get sped up with the use of cogs and gear ratios and things like that. Ooh, large steel ones. Right, you have a cogwheel, because you're going to need a cogwheel eventually to have teeth to be able to turn certain things, but also large cogwheels. So if you stick a shaft and a plank, you get a cogwheel, and if you stick a shaft with 2 planks, or a cogwheel and a plank, you get a large cogwheel, right? So shaft, plank, cogwheel, shaft, 2 planks, large cogwheels, right? So if I just think through what's going on here and how gear ratios work, if I ponder this, this will tell me large to small, I think. Yes, large to small can be connected diagonally, and that's going to speed this up. Alright. So put a large cogwheel on there, and of course it's going to cut into the ground, which is weird because of how low we've done it, but we'll live with it for now. And you can connect these diagonally any way you like. So if I go this way, that one is now going faster because of gear ratios, and we just got an achievement. Yeah, we just jumped ahead. Oh, a bunch of extras appeared. Nice. Okay, and let's get rid of that naughty chatter as well. Bam. Alright, and we can keep this going. Whoa, they're fighting. Calm down, fellas. We can keep this going by attaching a large one like that and another small one diagonally, like that. Now it's even faster. And doing the same trick indefinitely. I can't put one on this side because then gears hit each other and things smash. But if I put one there and we start heading back down this way, that will touch that, and that's going the wrong way. So again, so we've got spatial problems here, but there's a thing you can do with gears. You can encase them, right? Yep, so cogwheels, da 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 da, yep. Oh, I just want to go to the next bit. Neighbouring shafts connect in opposite directions. Yeah, I knew that. Right. Large and cogs connected diagonally. Yeah. Shifting from large to small. Yeah. So we're doing that. That's what we're doing. Alright, right-clicking it with andesite casing. Alright. Lets you put like a box around it. And then, yeah, it won't connect to other things. right? Unless it already had a rod coming out of it first, right? Oh yeah, and we can wrench it to do that. Yeah, so this one already had a rod coming out of it, so when we do the andesite casing, it gives room for a rod, and that one doesn't. Okay, so if we surrounded these by andesite casing, we could have them come back on themselves and just stay in the same diagonal forever. Alright? That's the theory, I think. So if I get some andesite casing, which is just any log with andesite, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Andesite casing. So if I right click that, right, now it can't connect forwards to another thing. This one needs to, because it needs to go into a large one. But I can andesite casing this one. I can connect it diagonally down to a small one. And now we're fine, because now we can stay in the same plane. And we connect that to a large one. Andesite casing that one. And that'll connect diagonally to a small one. And we're getting faster and faster. Right, and so we just go through this big sort of sequence of them. And that way we're not using up like crazy amounts of space here. I can just keep doing that. So two more small ones and then two more large ones. There is of course like a limit to this. You can't step up forever. Right, eventually we're going to hit maximum speed. But that's looking pretty good to me. Like that. That's nice, fast mechanical power now coming out of this. And we can start plugging this into whatever we want to do things with. So, other things that are useful to us is it a gearbox? Yeah, gearbox. Whoops, oh, I'm typing W now. Hold W to ponder the gearbox. Yeah, jumping between axes of rotation can get bulky quickly. Exactly, right? So you can use cogs to turn corners. Like, you can just put cogs at 90 degrees to each other and use that to get things at right angles. Or you could use a gearbox. Exactly. That just more compactly lets you do some orthogonal directions for turning some corners. Shafts around corners rotate in mirror directions. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so what's it take to make a gearbox? 4 cogs around the andesite casing. Okay, we're going to need more shafts, which is fine because shafts were very cheap. What was it? 4 cogs around the andesite casing. Yep. And cogs were just this. So there's 4 small cogs. So, oh, I've got to be in a crafting bench. Oh, and it's getting dark. Gearbox. Okay, just because I'm thinking we've like jammed ourselves all in that direction there, I want to be able to take this and turn a corner. So I can bring this back this way now. Actually start connecting that into things. Right, so that's our that's our fast moving thing. Woohoo! Great. So, where to now? We need mechanical power to like do mechanically things. So, like mixing and the crushing and I think the flattener is the first one. Yeah, the bonk thing. Create some sheets in a mechanical press. So, apply andesite alloy to stripped wood, creating a basic casing for your machines. Oh, as like the physical action of it. So, wood, stripped wood. Oh, you can like make it in the world. Okay. Weird? Sure. So, yep, mechanical press is one of the first things we need. Mechanical press, right. And we need the bit underneath it. So, mechanical press, can process items provided beneath it. So, we need like a depot, I think this is. Items can be dropped or placed on a depot. Yeah, so I'll use a depot, but you can just sit them on the floor. Yeah, so you put various ingots in there, and it'll squash them into sheets. Exactly. So we need to do that with a bunch of our iron. Ah ha ha! Conveyor belts. When items are provided on a belt, yep, they will stop. So we need to be doing some of this. This is good. And then get dealt with from there. Compacting items in the mechanical press. Pressing items held in a basin will cause them to be compacted. That's interesting. Never seen this one before. Oh, I see. Alright, so you can use that to make like the little 2x2 or 3x3 recipes automatically. Huh. Oh, but you need one of these guys. No, well, we're not up to that stage. Filter slot can be used in case two recipes are conflicting. Sure. Alright, nice. So, mechanical press, depot, we're heading towards belts and all sorts of things. Let me just ponder that again because I want to see what... No, I want to see what half of these things were. So, that's a funnel. Yeah, and then the belt. Okay, so... there it is, mechanical belt. That just needs a bunch of dried kelp. And dried kelp is what we get by cooking kelp. Smelting kelp. Gets us dried kelp. We've also got to start working towards these fans as well. Is that on the advancement tree? Yeah, that's coming up right after this. Okay. So that's fine, getting kelp. So we need to start cooking some kelp to be ready for that. Funnel. Oh, literally kelp on there. Okay. So the brass funnel allows stuff to come out of there. And shoot. That's not how you spell shoot. The one that we keep trying to look at. Yep, iron plates. Right, so... iron sheet. Slightly cheaper than a hopper. But I think it's basically just a hopper. So... we're going to need a bunch of iron on us. Need to start cooking up some of this kelp. are these doing? Only 500 and 300 clay left. Bunch of bricks coming out of there. That's going along nicely. We're up to 8 bone meal. Amazing. That's ridiculously slow. We need to find a better setup for that. One day in the future there will be a better setup for that, but not right now. So, mechanical press. Yeah, it was just a block of iron. So we need to be over here to make all these things. Didn't get out our iron. Okay, mechanical press. Right. We want a depot. Oh, yep, easy. And then we need to start getting some belts going. That is enough, technically. Because it was just that. No, that literally makes one belt. Okay. Well, that's fine. And then if we get a chest, the funnel, mechanical player, mechanical funnel? Was it not called mechanical? Ah, it was andesite funnel. Ah, well, that's what we've got an extra one for. Okay. And I think that just extracts from chests. So we'll just let everything just drop off the end for now. Or let's just ponder the belt. Oh. Yep, so right clicking on two shafts connects them together with a belt. Yep. We should ponder about the funnels too. So this is amazing. Like this is accidental selections can be cancelled with right click while sneaking. Okay, yep. You need this for like every mod. So it's great that Create's got this. Additional shafts can be added throughout the belt. Great, so you can like draw rotational power out from different points if you want. Yep. It's connected via belts, rotate with identical direction and speed, of course. We need to get that wrench at some point. And the mechanical, the engineer's goggles thing. Oh, you can dye it. Nice. Oh, I forgot we can change the wood on our water wheel too, which we should do. Ah, okay, that's the end of that. So, sources for display link. Item transportation. Here we go. Alright, yeah, so funnels. Chutes. Depot, weighted ejector, mechanical arm. Portable storage interface. A brass tunnel. So, what's the difference between a funnel and a tunnel? Well, let's ponder the funnel, and then the chute. Oh! A funnel also works that way. Items from and to inventories. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, simple as that. I did not even realize that. Alright. We don't have any of that nice coloured wood on us. It's in this chest. one of them. Get a bunch more of this kelp out of here. Good job, doggo. Right click on this. There you go. Now it's the colour of everything else, which may or may not be a good thing. Can I do that with the cogs as well? I cannot. That's fair. Maybe it should be the colour of the cogs then. Maybe it should be the original colour. But that's alright. I can make it dark. I can make it spruce coloured. Which is basically its original colour. Yeah, okay. Sure, let's just leave it like that. Since all of the create stuff is like oak coloured, we may as well just enjoy it all being oak coloured. Okay, so I feel like this is technically too low. I think this all needs to be like one block higher, which is unfortunate. Right, it appears this contraption is overstressed. Add more sources or slow down the components with a high stress impact. Yeah, so this is what happens when things are rotating way too fast. So this machine will not accept that level of rotation. That is just way too fast for it. So let me have a look at the wrench, which was this one, the create wrench. We need gold for that. We need to be flattening out our gold sheets, sure. And the goggles, the engineer's goggles. Yeah, we need a gold sheet for that too. Okay, that's fine. We'll get there. We're getting there. So we've obviously stepped this up slightly too far. Now we can pull this out from a tad earlier, just in case we want to keep that rotation for something later. We could use a cog back at this point here. So let me get a small cog. So I can pull, oops. Oh, wait, yeah, wait. What am I thinking? I'm using a tool that's not doing anything, known as my hands. That's the same as that. I need to be a step earlier. Need to be coming out of that. Small one coming out of that large one there. Like that. Alright. Let me get this. So coming out of this guy. So let's gearbox this back this way. Okay, you're much happier now. I'm losing my perspective. That's underneath you. Right. So if I put oh, I don't need that because we're gonna go along a belt. That was the whole point of this. So, and we're gonna have to sleep. So I'd like to take a belt out at this level here, which means I want to take that casing back off that again now. Right, so if I go from there to, you know, there, and I belt them from there to there, I've now got a belt, which is plenty far. In fact, I can do it one closer. That's the wrong block. Right, because I want to put on here, which I'm wasting the andesite casing just because it looks the part. Put a chest here. Put a funnel on the chest. There we go. Then things are going to come out of there. It'll immediately stop under there. And then we'll proceed through here. And I just need another chest here with a funnel to receive things. Which that is like scarily smashing into. So I think we just get rid of that. We don't need that full height of rotation. So another andesite casing, just because again looks nice. We need one more chest, and then our funnel, and a bunch of stuff to squash, like iron and things. Oh, we've got iron on us. Spruce chest. No, regular chest. So we're going to squash iron. We're also going to squash gold. We're also going to squash a heap of copper. So we put this chest there as well. We put this funnel there as well. And things should just transport from one to the other, right? So I put in here iron, gold, copper, a bunch more iron, a bunch more copper, a bunch more iron. Things are just getting stomped. Look at that. Bonk. Bonk. This is great. Let me stand here as a thumbnail for this. This is going to be the episode thumbnail. This. Right there. Something in here will be the thumbnail shot for this one. As we're approaching the end of things. Take a sip of water. Beginning of machines. I realise I didn't need to have that bonker quite so far away from the gearbox now. We could have had it like literally hard up against it. Made this a whole much shorter setup. In fact, we might do that in a sec just to conserve space, because we're going to probably put a few other things on this platform. It's not just the bonker that we need, but I'll let it run through its course. We're getting a bunch of these nice bits that we're going to need. But we're going to need to get more gold. We're going to have to use the gold ones sparingly. Iron and copper. We've got loads of copper and we've got infinite iron. Getting gold out of gold nuggets. Like, yeah, long term. Oh, not like that. Long term, the solution for gold, getting gold nuggets. Yeah, you can get gold nuggets by washing red sand. Oh. But we don't have a good way of just getting red sand, do we? Oh, we do. We get it by crushing granite. Yep, we do in fact, and granite's renewable. Because we've got other things coming. We've got other things coming that are going to be able to get us infinite granite. Okay, yep, so what we're really heading towards is the crushing wheel. Which means we need the big mechanical crafter to get to this sort of stuff. What's that? Any stone. And to get the mechanical crafters, we need electron tubes and brass casing, which means we need brass, polished rose quartz, well, yes, the deploying hand, or no, we just use sandpaper on rose quartz, yeah. Which means we need redstone and nether quartz. Yeah, so we're gonna start needing a bunch of things. But the redstone we can also get from the crushing wheel and things. Redstone, taunting glowstone. Yeah, that's how we're getting redstone. So we've got to get the fans as well. Yeah, it's very chicken and egg. We need a little bit of some of this stuff to start with, but then we can get a lot of it. Yeah, that's right. So nether quartz we were going to end up getting by washing soul sand, because soul sand we can get by haunting sand or red sand or anything. Mars sand, Venus sand, all the sands. Just give me regular sand again. Soft sand. Wet sand? Wet red sand. White sand. Sand. Sand we can of course get by just crushing gravel. Yep. And gravel we can get by crushing cobble. And we can get infinite cobble. So infinite cobble gives infinite gravel, gives infinite sand, which gets infinitely haunted into soul sand, which gets infinitely washed for a small chance at nether quartz. And that lets us get, you know, electron tubes and brass casing and eventually mechanical crafters and stuff. Yep. Okay, but of course, the whole reason we wanted mechanical crafters was so that we could craft the crushing wheel in the first place. So we've got to be able to do some of that without actually having the crushing wheel yet. So the brass is mixing. Oh dear. Heated. Brass nugget. Yeah, okay, so we've also, yeah, before we even get to that, we've got to be mixing under heat this sort of stuff. Yeah. Ponder the mixer. Yeah. Yes. So now you tell us about that. Some of those recipes may require the heat of a blaze burner. So there's no other heat source? There's really no other heat source. So I can get to that at some point. Yeah, very easy to make the empty blaze burner. We might be taking a trip to the nether. That might be something for next time. Okay, well this is all done. Like this is, it's run its course. So let me bring it considerably closer, just to improve our setup. And of course we can ride the belt. Ready? Whee! May as well have it like right there. And just move this all straight up. There we go. So just goes through that one square. Now it's as compact as it can be, basically, and we can keep that coming out of there to do some other bits and bobs. So we got ourselves a depot. We need a oh, it's night time. We need to have a nap. We need a chest somewhere here for just like all of our create bits and bobs to put in. A crafting bench and all that sort of stuff. So let's make ourselves a chest. Let's make ourselves a crafting bench. Let's have a nap. Okay, and we might just set them up over here. Chests can just sort of tuck away here. Crafting bench next to it. And we might just stash all of our create based things in it. That way we've got everything nearby for making stuff. What are we? Not options, advancements. Fan, windmill, this sort of stuff. Yeah, so we're working towards windmill, so we're trying to get there as quickly as we could. What did the windmill need? Oh, it was the glue is what we were going to get immediately bottlenecked by. The plate. We've got that. Okay, so we can start gluing things together. So the sail frame, which is just andesite alloy and wool. Great. Okay, so we can actually replace this water wheel setup with a windmill setup for like another platform for another chunk and stuff like that. But for now, this works fine. It's just a large create water wheel. Beyond that, what else have we got that we need to get into for next time? So the fan for blowing things, yes. Windmaker. Place and power an enclosed fan. Right. No, I'm just going to have to type fan and we're just going to have to look for it. There. Encased fan. I thought it was enclosed. Encased fan. Propeller. Iron sheets. Alright. So we can have that. That blows. So let's get this sort of stuff. So what does it need? It has a thing. Okay. So we've got to awkwardly get... Oh no, we can use the belt. Aha. And this is the part where now we may have wished that the belt came out a bit further. But we can do that. We can leave it right there, because we just have to think through this carefully. We put that there. We put that there, and we just attach that with another belt. That's not janky at all. And for that we need more kelp, and we don't have kelp with us. We do have kelp with us. Six kelp gets us one belt. We need a lot of kelp. Overstressed. Sure. That's too many things being driven by that. We might want to make them goggles. Yep. String, 2 glass, and one of them gold plates. We can use one of them. Where's my string? It's in here, wasn't it? And my glass. There's 2 glass. Look at that. Okay, engineer's goggles, which I can hold shift for summary. Yep. Connect component shows stress impact and all this sort of stuff. Okay, so I can put that in my head. Haha! How do you like my goggles? Let's take off the helmet. There we go. Ah, there. Okay, so I have the goggles above my head. Unless I put the helmet on. Then of course the goggles slip down onto my head. Onto my eyes. So now, in theory, when I look at stuff, I can see things. Aha! I can see stuff. So this is putting out 512 SU, stress units, at its current speed. Alright. This is receiving 512 stress units. I can't see anything about the belts and whatever. So now when I try and connect these, do I see anything special? Okay, so this sort of 128 at current speed. Alright. So there are limits to my understanding here as to how any of this works. But when things are overstressed, you just need more mechanical turning power. My understanding is another water wheel added to this setup just works things. 512, yeah. I'm wondering, seeing as though we left ourselves room for this, oh, look at this, the water's going to help us. Aha, here's our chance to put in that water I was so worried about. Haha, now I can put in all this water to make it look the part. There we go. I think that's now full of water. Excellent. Now we have infinite water source there. If I get another large water wheel, which is just a shaft surrounded by planks again. And there's not enough planks here. Yeah, I used all the good planks. If I stick another water wheel on here, so this one's doing 512. This one's currently doing 0, because technically it has no water on it. So I've got to just jump up here and apply some water in the same way that I did before, which means I need another block there to apply water to. Oops. Okay. That's 512, and that's 512, so they're now both applying power. So I'd like to think that is now imparting 1024 stress units into the system, which should mean there's enough to spare for this. It does. Whoop, and that thing's blowing me. Right, so yeah, okay. So this thing is currently using 512 stress units. So I'm thinking of this like electrical power or something or whatever, to do this stamping because I've got it geared up so high. Right? And this is using 128 because I've got it geared up one step less. And that's fine because that plus that is less than that plus that. So that now is blowing stuff, which is good. So we got ourselves a fan, an encased fan, but all right, what are we doing with that? So we can do like blasting and haunting and smoking and washing, but for the time being, washing, there's a bunch of stuff we can do here. Like you can wash sand into clay. This is how we get ourselves more clay and things. I should ponder the washer. So yep, so it's blowing things. Case fans use rotational force to create an air current, right? It's blowing stuff. Also, there's all this that maybe would be worth thinking about. Aha, I can use one of these things to change direction of the cogs with a redstone input, which is of course good for sucking versus blowing. Yep. So items processed. Yep, so if you put lava directly in front of it, it blows hot air and then you have like a barrier block. Yep. So, yep, it's a way of smelting certain things. Food thrown here would be incinerated. Sure, that's why you need the smoker. So you put fire there instead. Yeah. Water creates a washing setup. Yeah. Yep. So we're washing fancy things. Yep, that's how we get that. Speed of the fan does not affect the processing speed, only its range. Okay, so having the fan sped up just makes it blow further, not do the process any faster. Good to know. Aha. Items on depots and belts. Good. Right, so something on a belt gets dealt with on its way through. Good to know. Which of course we can again do with chests and things. Right, that's interesting how there's a gap like that, but that's fine. Because we also have to be able to contain the water. Oh, and it's the middle of the night. This tends to happen a lot. Too busy pondering. We're going to have to start wrapping this up in a second anyway, which I think I've already said. But we would put water there, and then in this line is where something would be getting belted across. So in fact, this ideally should be like up a block, because you'd want to have stuff coming across on a belt here. So there's nowhere up high here to pull from. But we could manage that. We can manage that. What if we small cog out of that? We have small cogs on us. Yep, one of them. What if we small cog up out of that? We could belt from there to there. This is the most compact, weirdest set of machines. Did that just get picked up by me or the belt? Whee! Oh, it did. Got picked up by the belt and thrown there. Also, we can fix the rest of this chunk now. So, fan there. It's going to do like blowing at head height. No, that's sucking, because now we're going the other way. Of course it is. Because we're coming out of there instead. Forgot about that. That's fine. That's fine. We can fix that with another small cog. There we go. Now they're going the other way. That's better. Alright. Physics. But it's going at 256 stress units now, because it's at that part of the system instead of that other part. So yeah, we're at we're at risk of overburdening things way more. So the smarter thing would have been to just take this out of a slow end here. Have this facing completely the other direction. Because yeah, this was just about how far it blows. Yeah, so we need none of this at all. We want to take this out of one of these ones here. Yeah, okay, let's completely redesign this. Let's... because we want it to be up this high. So let's come all the way out of there. Like the slowest one. Let's come out of that. And imagine... so the blowing should happen here, I guess. Just using this as a way to do that. Okay, so I can now build this. And which way does that make the fan blow? That's the real question. It makes it blow. Only about that far, but that's fine. Okay, so this is where we need to put some water on things, and I could do with some more acacia just to keep the aesthetic consistent. And I tell you what, I'm gonna steal back these andesite casings. They can just have that on them for now. So we're gonna need to put water here, which means we're gonna need to at least do that. So that we can put some slabs down. Oops, throwing things. Will slabs stop water? Will pressure plates stop water? 2 of them make a pressure plate, but 3 of them make 6 slabs. That's way more cost effective. So I should be able to and that's fine. I can draw water out of here. I should be able to put water in there. No, apparently that was not an infinite source there. That's scary. I thought I'd fixed all that water business. Okay, so that's wetting things. So I could have anything on a depot here, but ideally if it was on another belt system it could go into another chest. So if I did the exact same thing and we put like another thing there and thing there, we could have 2 chests with funnels on them. The funnels sort of take up a block. So I'd want I'd want these further apart because I don't think I want the funnel in the way of this. And I'd want to use that, in fact, to get this going. Yep, because that will pull things that way. So I need the chest there, regardless. Alright. We need more kelp. I don't know why I only made 1. I clearly needed to make 2. So there's going to come a time where a single chunk is just not enough. I need to make like mega chunks of chunks to contain things, because at the moment I don't know that this is like a final setup at all. I think this is all very temporary proof of concept stuff, and then when we sort of start getting proper materials from these, we can remake these in better looking sort of arrangements. But for now, this is doing the job fine. So we need more funnels, we need more belts. So we should have had a bunch of kelp smelting over here. We did. Just put the rest of that in there. So that's pulling items that way, which is good. So presumably it stops in front of the washer, from based on how that picture worked. Yes, it's getting dark. And it was the funnel. Yeah, kelp with the andesite alloy. And he gets 2 of them, which is great because that just makes sense. Oh, vertically. I didn't realize it was a shaped recipe. Okay, better sleep. Also, achievement, bonk. Create some sheets in the mechanical press. Oh, hungry. This is where it could help to have one of those auto feeding backpacks. Okay, so things that we might want to wash. Yes, and now it's only going at 16 kinetic stress units, which is fine. Leaves us way more power on this to do other things. Not washing, a fan. Encased fan. There, so the encased fan used for washing. So yeah, what's interesting to wash? Sand into clay, boring for now. Red sand into gold. That gets us more gold, which is nice. Soul sand, if we had any, is how we're going to get the nether quartz. Crushed zinc, well that ain't happening just yet. Various crushed things, yeah. Oh, and then all the concretes. Ah, so that's how we get our wheat flour into dough. Yeah. Gravel gets washed into flint with the chance of iron, but we've already got sources of iron. We can wash the colour off glass. We can wash the whatever off bamboo things. That's still washing concrete. There was a chance of redstone in that. Crushed raw iron. With a chance of redstone. Would you look at that? Magma into obsidian. You can wash a sugar cube and it turns into nothing. Like literally no block. So you just dissolve the sugar in water. Crushed raw iron. No, that's... yeah, no, that's not happening. You got to get this crimsite stuff, and then you got to put it in the crushing thing. Okay. I knew that was too good to be true. So at the moment, it's basically just... none of this crushed stuff. I'm sure there is some use for that in some factory setup. Yeah, exactly. We don't need to do the gravel. I think it's just the sand at the moment. Because, yeah, all this crushed stuff is in, like, the crushing wheels, yeah. Soul sand, if we had any, is getting us nether quartz. Otherwise, it's red sand. So, oh yeah, we can haunt sand into soul sand. Okay, maybe we should be doing that, actually. At some point. Yeah. We should actually be haunting sand into soul sand. I mean, I'm sure we've got plenty of sand. We've got red sand. We got some sand. Cause soul sand, that's nether quartz. So instead of water, how do I get soul fire? Like there's a soul campfire. Oh, we've got soul campfires. Aha, literally that. Oh, wait, no. You can turn a campfire into a soul campfire. Do I just have to put a... Yeah, let me bucket this back up for a minute. Oh, we've done a bad. There we go. If I put a soul campfire there... Oh wait, it's not a soul campfire that we've got, it's a it was like a soul lantern. Yeah, it was a soul lantern. How do I make a soul campfire? Soul sand. That's a good start. Otherwise, I haunt a campfire. Oh dear. I would need soul sand in the first place. And my first way of getting soul sand is to use this to haunt it. Okay, so no, so it's chicken and egg. We need to at least get some soul sand to make a soul campfire. Yep, okay, so we're just going to wash sand for a bit. Oh, wash red sand? That's what we were doing. Washing. Yeah, washing red sand gets us a chance for some more gold. So let's take a stack of that red sand. Wash it for a chance at some gold. Okay. Replenish the water bucket. Alright, and check to see that this thing even works and actually stops in front of there as intended. If I put my red sand in there, nope, it just goes straight past because it doesn't stop there. So that's already a problem. It's like we've got to do that whole deployer thing where it sits on a deployer instead, but then it just stays there. So what good is... Oh, is it just that it's moving too fast? Do I need to have this geared way slower? Like at this sort of speed? Would that have worked instead? So, I need a tiny cog. And I need to get these down there, so that's a large cog. Mental blank for a minute there. I'm gonna need more planks. That's a cog? No. That's a cog. Large cog. There we go. I'll figure it out. So, we stick a large cog there. We have to temporarily break the rules of physics a little bit. Do that. And that is going the correct way. And we actually move this whole thing one bit closer now. that's got all of our sand in it. So that's now going that way, super slow speed, and that might be fine. That might sit in front of that long enough to get washed. So if we put it in there now, it comes out. Look at this, super slow. Gets slowly washed. Still too fast. Yep. Still washing it literally too fast. We're going at like 16 stress units, which is like the slowest this can go. Although we could technically slow it down, actually, because we're going small into big. If we went big into small, it would halve. We can slow this down. Oh, advancement made, processing by particle. Oh, because we stopped it. So whatever was on the belt at that moment got processed. Yeah, sure. So large one, then small one, and it will halve the speed. No, that speeds it up. Large then small speeds it up. No, we've done the opposite. It was actually correct before. Ah, no. We were right all along. We had it right the first time. It's washing whatever's in front of it. Look how long it takes to wash it. Okay. Small into large. And then sleep time. We might just have to use the depot. Because it's just slowly washing and letting things through. Alright. This will be our final thing. And then we call it. I just want to confirm that this is actually going to work. So we don't need this at all. Because it's all just going to be on a stationary depot. So I can put that back so as not to break my immersion. And I'm wondering if I can do it like literally right here. Whether it's got to be that block further away. Where's my depot? There it is. If I put the sand on here. Yep, it's washing it. And we just leave that. Because it can wash a whole stack, like all 62 of them. And it will just take forever, I guess. And when it's done, its stuff is just going to pop off somewhere, I guess? Or will it stay on the depot? Because if it pops off somewhere, that's where we could have had a belt run in here into a thing. Oh no, it doesn't. It stays on there. Look at that. We got nuggets and dead bush. Perfect. We can throw the dead bushes away. And we got a bunch of gold nuggets. So there's a whole stack of red sand. But it's gotten us 2 more gold ingots. Woohoo! Not ideal, but once we get up to like the whole crushing thing and we can crush this into that and that and that and sort of stuff, that becomes our renewable source of gold. So, proof of concept. It's not great, but it does a job. Does a job. Okay, well, I think we need to call it there, because it's just getting later and later. Let us stand here, and in fact, before we finish it, yeah, we need to clear this out. Oh, we need to empty our inventory of all of our create gubbins that we're just hanging on to. Extra chests here. Actually, we could do with some extra chests in the create chest, because they always need chests. There, there, and there. That. Spruce planks. Food on our hot bar. Yep, that sort of stuff. Check in on everything here. This is making loads of things that are making loads of stuff for dye. That's going to fill up fast because of all the... Coconut slices are not something it produces, so that doesn't even need to be in there. They're filling up though, which is fine. That's going to happen. Lot of kelp. I should set some more kelp cooking. That's like loads of string, which is great. We're set for wood, which means we're set for coal and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, let's get another stack of kelp cooking. Yeah, that is technically food. So I'll throw it in there with the others. 8 more coal. How's this going? It's nearly through all that. This is literally all our clay, isn't it? Is this all of our clay? There's no clay in there. There's no clay in there. So I should actually hold back some clay, because we might want clay for like things, just in case. So I'll just drop a bit of clay there. This is now up to 14 bone meal. So it is going to slowly get somewhere, but that is not a lot of bone meal. Like, not when we're making stacks and stacks of other things. Cows are doing good. Everyone's hanging out. Excellent. Sword's nearly dead, but that's fine. We've got our goggles on, we've got our backpack. We're getting there. We're getting into the beginnings of having machinery going. So we just got to start working out our progression from here. I've got to have a think between now and next time, where we start to take things. Oops. From here, yeah. Oh shoot, mixer. Yeah, we're sort of the copper age, yeah. Start doing all this with coppers for the liquid sort of stuff. Yep. Okay, so I'll start thinking through sort of what we want to head into towards for next time. There's more than what's on here, like the saw for cutting things and stuff like that. There's a drill that I want to do. There's a whole line of stuff that we want to eventually be doing. So, oops. Eventually, we want to be crushing tough in crushing wheels, and that gets us a small chance of gold, copper, zinc, iron, and electrum. I mean, we've already got iron coming in, but this is how we get more zinc and copper and gold, like and electrum, like properly. So that's handy. Now, tough can be crafted in a mixer by mixing together the 4 types of stone: cobble, diorite, andesite, and granite. You can make tough in a mixer like that. And you can make cobble in the world with a lava generator. I don't think it's going to show a recipe because that doesn't make sense. It's just a... Yeah, well, it does. There you go. It's just a world process. You can put water next to lava and you get cobblestone. Cobblestone generating. Right? But there's also custom cobblestone generating. So you can make andesite the exact same way if you have an andesite block underneath it. And diorite the same way if you have diorite underneath it. And granite the same way if you have granite underneath it. And limestone. So these ones lets us make a cobble gen, an andesite gen, a diorite gen, a granite gen. And then all I need is a mechanical drill to drill those blocks, break them for me, and that way, again, just passively, I can have drills drilling these 4 different things, having them come off into a conveyor belt, going into a mixer, mixing them to make tough, and eventually having that tough going into the crushing wheels to get us golden, copper, and zinc and stuff. So that's another chain that I have in my mind that I'm trying to work towards. But again, we can't get to the crushing wheels until we can get to the big crafting. We can't get to the big crafting until we can get to the brass. We can't get to the brass until we can actually get the blaze stuff going. So there's also a trip to the nether. There's a bunch of things. So yeah, we might have to work out the sequence of progression for all of that next time. So yes, yep, it's all going to hinge on getting brass or bronze or whatever it is. Getting these brass sheets, getting stomping brass ingots, getting the brass nuggets, getting the brass ingots by mixing these. Yep. So it's all going to hinge on the blaze burner set up in the mixer. And the mixer's not hard. Basin is just andesite. Mixer is just the usual things with a whisk, and a whisk is just iron plates around andesite alloy. So that's the job for next time. Start heading in that direction, because once we get to there and we can get to the crushing wheels, that opens up a bunch of other stuff for us. Okay, well, I think that's that. Let's call it there. We've still managed to do 3.5 hours somehow, so a lot of progress. So thank you, everyone, for watching. That was another stream that was Overthunk by Sharky, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.